Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel and welcome to the first episode of The World is Upside Down. Now, this is a series that is basically just about, all of the craziness that's going on in the world and my opinions on those occurrences. I have thoughts and I'm here and I want to share them with you all. I have thoughts. So this is going to be my outlet just to get those thoughts out. And so the first topic on episode 1 is going to be about Texas and what Texas got going on related to women's rights and that ban that they have. I'm not going to say the A word. I'm going to say deletion. So the deletion ban. Of course, I'm going to preface this by saying I'm pro-choice. I'm not pro-deletion, but I am pro-choice. And what's currently happening as a consequence of that ban is exactly why I am pro-choice. So what's going on in Texas is the fact that they have the ban, and the only exception is if there's a life-threatening condition. So Texas is actually talking out both sides of their necks because they say that, but then on the other side of their neck, they say if a doctor intervenes in any way, even in a life-threatening condition, if the doctor intervenes and causes the fetus's heartbeat to stop, that doctor is subject to 99 years in prison. Now, Texas, don't get mad at me because I live in Florida. I'm Southern. And I know Florida and Texas are kissing cousins when it comes to the foolishness. So I'm sure there will be a lot of episodes related to Florida. But today it's about Texas. All right. So although there's a federal law that requires emergency rooms to provide life-saving care to patients, and the current administration has said, yes, that even applies to women miscarrying and their lives are in danger. Yes, this applies. You must provide life-saving care. Well, Texas said, not here in Texas. Not here in Texas. This does not apply in Texas. Which is why these hospitals are playing hot potato with these ladies when they're coming in with problems with their pregnancy. And I say problems because there are instances where they don't even know whether or not they're miscarrying, but they don't want to touch them. They are not going to do any in-depth diagnosis to determine what's going on. They're just sending them home. And a lot of times it could be an instance where, if they could be treated and both the mother and the child is saved, but instead they are sending these women home. So essentially, pregnant women have become untouchable. And there are 2 instances, documented instances in Texas where women have passed away as a result of the lack of care during their miscarriage. Not only have they passed away, the fetus too. So Texas claimed to care about the life of the unborn, but they're losing both the unborn and the mother. They're batting 0 for 0. They don't care. And this is why I say the world is upside down. So you claim to care about the fetus, so you don't treat neither the fetus or the mother. But they're pro-life. Pro-life, right? All right, so the first instance actually happened last year in 2023. It was an 18-year-old girl. She came to the hospital with her mother, miscarrying. She's in pain. She's bleeding profusely. She sees 3 doctors. She goes to 3 different hospitals. The first hospital diagnosed her with strep. They didn't even broach the topic about what's going on in the tummy, sent her home. The second hospital diagnosed her with sepsis. Sepsis is life-threatening. It's related to an infection. They sent that girl home. She came back to the third hospital where she saw an OBGYN, and this OBGYN, now keep in mind, she got sepsis. This OBGYN did 2 ultrasounds to make sure, or to confirm, that there was a heartbeat before she put her in intensive care. Now, this took 2 hours. She wanted to make sure there was a heartbeat. If you ask me, I think she was just buying her time. I think she was just wasting time waiting for something to happen on its own. I'm surprised she even put the girl in intensive care. I'm surprised she didn't just send her home. But the act of performing 2 ultrasounds screams, I'm just trying to pass the time. I don't know what to do. What I want to do, I can't do because I may go to jail. So let me fill in some time here. Well, while she's filling in time, passing the time, which was 2 hours, this girl was steady declining. So a few hours after she gets to her ICU room, this 18-year-old girl passed away. She was 6 months pregnant. And the interesting fact is, the mother and the daughter, according to the article, the mother said both her and the daughter they were pro-life, unless it was or it was a life-threatening condition. And she claimed she took that stance because it was morally right. It was a religious thing. And also, she thought that doctors were obligated to save the life of the mother. That's what she thought. So I'm assuming, I don't know. I'm assuming, and I don't know when this law passed in Texas. I don't even know if it was on the ballot. I don't know if they voted on it. And maybe they did. Y'all correct me in the comments. And if they did, I'm pretty sure this mother of this 18-year-old that passed away, I'm sure she voted yes on that amendment. I'm sure she voted yes. And I think that's what people do that are so staunchly active in wanting to control the life of others based on their religion or their beliefs. That's what they do. They don't consider how it could possibly impact them. Because in the article, she stated, yeah, she thought the doctors were obligated. And if she had her choice between her daughter and the baby, she would have chose her daughter. And that's sad. But life comes at you fast. And I always side-eye people that have such a vested interest in how others lead their life. So much so that they want to make laws around it. It's a slippery slope. You ban it, right? And now we've slid all the way into, we can't even get medical intervention when a miscarriage is occurring. Which is why the government needs to just stay out of women's uterus altogether. All right, the second incident that occurred in Texas just happened in September. So there was a 28-year-old. She was just 17 weeks pregnant with her second child. She was miscarrying. She went to the hospital and they told her that they could not intervene unless there was no heartbeat. And she laid there and suffered. And she eventually, of course, we know the end result. She passed away. But this one was more grotesque, brutal, amoral, inhumane, because this woman was in active labor with this miscarriage. And doctors did not speed up the process, because ordinarily when a woman is miscarrying, there's medical intervention to speed it up, get the baby out, get the woman prepped, cleaned up, and ensure, she survives this. But this did not occur. This woman was delivering this baby. And when she finally delivered, she passed away 3 days later. And according to the autopsy, she passed away from sepsis, just like this last girl. And not only that, there was what they call it. Basically, there was tissue left in her uterus from the pregnancy. So apparently they didn't even go in and give her a DNC and clean her out. So she died from infection as well. That's what's happening in the world. The world is upside down. And right now, there's only a few states, with these strict bans, but a few states is too many. A few states is too many. And it got me thinking about, I used to watch Handmaid's Tale. I had to stop because it was getting too real and it was freaking me out. It was too real. It is so relevant to what's going on today. I don't know if that show is even still on, but it was good. It was too real for me though, so I had to stop watching. I don't even like watch. I did not even like watching like the previews because it was just cringing me out. Okay, so we've talked about how these women are losing their lives during, miscarriages, stillbirths. How about, to make matters worse, the women that are surviving these miscarriages and stillbirths? We're seeing instances where these people are being prosecuted criminally as a result. Why, you may ask? Because there's suspicion around how did this occur? Or why did this occur? They are assuming these women had a hand in their miscarriage, and they are pursuing them criminally as a result. So the article states, prosecutions related to pregnancy appear to have increased since the overturn of Roe v. Wade. There were at least 210 pregnancy-related prosecutions, which is the highest since 1973. So we are actually reverting. We are not progressing as a society. I know we got all this technology. We got all of these advancements. We have all of these rights. We're losing major rights. But if you think about it, are we advancing? The world is upside down. So it says it often starts with suspicion. Why did she call for an ambulance? Why didn't she call for an ambulance when the bleeding started? What if she didn't want the baby? Maybe she took something, or maybe she inquired about the deletion pill. Why didn't she call for an ambulance when the bleeding started? Well, if it's the state of Texas, you can call all you want. You're probably going to pass away. Well, you're not going to get care. You'll be lucky if you don't pass away. But then you got to look forward to being criminally prosecuted, going to jail for a miscarriage. So I just think about the fact that a lot of times there are instances where women don't even know if they're pregnant. Could you imagine not finding out you're pregnant until you're in the hospital miscarrying? That's some scary stuff. And then now you got to worry about going to jail. And if not going to jail, you got to spend money to keep from going to jail. It's scary being a woman. I ain't gonna hold you. It is scary being a woman. So yeah, guys, that's my time for today. This wraps up the first episode of The World is Upside Down. Let me know if you got ideas for future topics. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.